Hello friends, another wonderful moment our faithful God has granted unto us, and this is Truthcast Media, where truth meets faith, and today we want to talk about something very important in our life. When we talk about health, what do you know about your health? Manake tunapozungumzia kuhusu afya katika miili yetu, tunapozungumzia afya katika familia zetu, what comes to your mind? And so today we are here as Truthcast Media so that we can also bring such information so that it can help us to know God much better and how we can keep our health into our life better. And remember to follow us in our YouTube channel as Truthcast Media, in our Facebook page as Truthcast Media, and also we always have all accounts in TikTok, Facebook, and also Instagram, and also Twitter. You can find us Truthcast Media. Remember, this is where you meet faith that will lead. This is where you meet truth that will lead you to faith. Welcome you all as I want to introduce my friend so that he can also atusema ametoka wapi, atueleshe yeye ni nani tunapoanza. Welcome my sister. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is Truthcast Media and we are much happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
Kindly tuambie wewe ni nani, umetoka wapi ili tunapoendelea.
Okay, thank you so much for the invite. I'm so glad for the invite. So my name is Sharon Jelagat. I am a Seventh-day Adventist from around Eldoret.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm here to talk about health, which is something that I have passion about.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we are not just talking, something that you have passion with.
Yes.
Wow, so I know my friends wanaendelea kutufuatilia na wale ambao wamepata nafasi pia kuna wengine watapata nafasi ya kuweza kupata ujumbe huu about our health. And maybe my question that I want to ask also na pengine rafiki wetu akaweze kupata. Why do you think it is good to keep our health? Why do you think that it is good into our even our family to have good health? Ya kwamba kadri tunaamuka tuko na afya njema and everything that we do. And so a great question comes, how can we keep our life health? And so my question first, bengine ningetamani kuuliza ni kivipi kile unachokielewa kuhusu afya katika miili yetu?
Being in good health is a privilege.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very good when you are in good health. So in our day-to-day life, there are things we do that can harm us. So for example, the lifestyle that you are living. And so we have to ensure that in our lifestyle, we have to leave some other things that can affect our health, because there is nothing better or good than having good health.
Wow, so
Yes.
when we are in a good health status, it's something that gives us strength to push on.
Yes.
Even to our businesses, even to our even worship in our church.
Yes.
It's good when we keep our health good. And so ili nikaweze kukuwa na afya ile ambayo naweza sema ni sawa ama afya sawa, ni nini ninahitajika kukuwa nayo?
Okay, so as we are continuing to learn, we'll get to know that we have some laws that will allow us or help us to grow in health. For example, to know is about our nutrition. The things that we eat in our bodies, they have to be good and the ones that helps us to grow in terms of health.
So even this talk about health, namaanisha pia iko na some laws, some fundamentals that we need to follow in our daily life. And so there is something that you have talked about, nutrition.
Yes.
I remember from the Bible when God created Adam. In fact, he created human after he created the land of Eden.
Yes.
So, and the first thing that we find from even creation, that God commanded Adam just to take care of the garden. And so they were to eat everything except that command that God gave, that they were not to eat that tree that was in the midst of the land. And so my question about what we eat, okay, generally about our lifestyle. Do you think that also God is much concerned about our health?
Yes, of course. In Genesis 1 verse 29, we are told that after creation, God gave us the food that you're supposed to eat. The first thing were fruits. That is in Genesis 1 verse 29. We have fruits, we have seeds, we have nuts, and we also have legumes. Those were the food that we were given by God. And then, of course, God is really concerned on how we have to prosper in health. We see in 3 John 1 verse 2, where it says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper."
Yes.
So it means that God really wants us to be in good health. He called us beloved, meaning that he really loves us. In that he tells us that he really wishes that we are in good health. Also, we have in Romans, where we are told that we have to present our bodies as a living sacrifice. Yeah, we have to present it. That is, we have to ensure that we don't live to please our bodies. We have what our bodies wants and what God wants us to eat.
So wakati mwingine when the body demands, now that comes to a condition, we need to check and we need to interview ourselves. Does it go with the will of God?
Yes.
And so we need to take in what the God needs, not what our body needs.
Yes.
And wow.
Yeah. So when we talk about our bodily desires, for example, when you talk about food, sometimes you're seated and you're like, hey, I wish I had some meat on the table. And if you allow your body to want that meat, of course you'll go for it. But when you tell yourself, when I eat meat, it takes almost 72 hours to be digested. So this means that it might cause some acidity in our bodies because there will be fermentation. You can imagine 3 days without digestion. You see, it causes fermentation.
Yes.
Yeah, so that means that when you think about that, you're like, no, let me just stay because I want my body to be in good health. I just leave it. Another thing is exercise. Sometimes you want to exercise so much, but your body tells you, you can just have some rest. You're tired, just sleep. And you need exercise.
But how can someone fight? Unajua pia hii mwili inachoka. And so the first thing that I find, kitu ambacho nimepata is that wakati mwingine the body demands. But that demand may not be the same what God desire. And now the challenge comes that God desire to treat our body in a different to the way our body needs. And like for example, kama hiyo interest about exercise. Maybe let's take about kuamka asubuhi, kuanza kufanya mazoezi kama labda kukimbia. Or to just someone can even go decide to go for a gym. And so unapata inafika mahali unaona una strain. So you can decide to, how can you have that strength to push when even you feel that the body does not need you more?
Yeah, the first thing that pushes you to go for exercise is you think that this is my body and I have to take care of my body. So that is something that can push you to go to do exercise. But if you just allow your body to be like, let's just rest, like not rest the one that you're supposed to be resting, but you've not gone for gym for like a week. You've never gone for gym, and now you have a chance to go to gym.
Not necessarily about gym, but something
just,
that can
doing exercise.
physical, we can call it a physical exercise.
Physical exercise.
So there's something which you have said that this is our body, so we need to take care of our body. Meaning that if we can't take care of our body, then it will reach a point that our health state that needs us to take care of. That to that point, I think it will be very much expensive to take care of our body. So another thing that maybe we want us to understand more about our health. Now, when you see the way things used to happen sometimes back and the way things are happening today, they are much different. And what do you think about our modern health challenges that we always face in our life? Yes.
Okay, you know what people don't know about the medicine that you're taking from the hospitals?
Yes.
Is that these medicine are just meant to suppress the illness, not to treat the illness. Yeah, that's why sometimes you find someone goes to the hospital, they're diagnosed with a certain illness, they're given medicine, but after some few weeks, the medicines are over. You find that person going back to the hospital with the same illness. So it means that the medicine we are given are meant to suppress the illness, not to treat the illness. But thankfully, we have traditional medicine. When you use traditional medicine, you'll be surprised that in just 2 or 3 days, you don't feel any pain anymore. I have a living experience, or a true experience. My brother got a small accident, but at some point he went to the hospital and he was told that he has arthritis. So he was given some injections, given medications, and he was supposed to take it for like 2-3 days or a week. But after that week, when the medicines were over, he was complaining of the same pain, the same illness. The legs were swollen, So it reached a point where he said, let me just venture on traditional medicine. And we were so surprised that after 3 days,
maybe there is our friends that are actually who are following us, and then maybe he or she is asking this question: what are some traditional? I can just look in a position like when we are talking about traditional medicine, it reminds us some natural herbs that God has created to us that we are supposed to use, like fruits. And now my question is, just the way you can see the way technology is moving, and so more information are actually coming out. And so why do you think that most people tunapoendelea ku advance in our technology, just the way yenye umesema, the most thing yenye huwa like medicine inafanya ama kama dawa ya hospitali mara nyingi inafanya most cases like kama painkillers ni kusuppress the pain in our body. So like inamaanisha, why do you think that as much there is this new technology inakuja which seems to give a solution to our challenges, even to our health, why do you think that the problem of being in a good health is actually a big challenge to us?
Yeah, as I said, as you continue to grow, there are certain things that happens. For example, right now, we have heard of GMOs. We have a lot of issues with sugar. We have a lot of issues with the fat we are taking in our bodies. That's why we have challenge with our health. But now, in Genesis 3 verse 18, we are told that God added us vegetables, and those were like herbs. And if you feel like you're not well in terms of your body, and you take the vegetables that God gave us, it is very simple to treat it more than using the medicines that we have right now.
So the first law, the first background that can help us to keep our self-health is just to focus what is the foundation our God has given us. So whatever, if that's something that God desires us to to eat or to use into our body, then it means that it's good to take. And maybe when we are talking about laws, like fundamentals that we need to use into our body so that to keep our life health. Like for example, already you have talked about exercise, that's physical exercise. I can call it as a fundamental that I need to do it daily so that I can keep my body healthy. And so you have talked about vegetables, fruits. So that reminds me that I'm supposed to also to recall what God needs to take into my body. And so what are other roles?
Okay, we have after exercise we have water. We have to take in water in our bodies. You know, when you do the statistics of our bodies, our human body has 70% of water in it.
You mean what?
70%.
70%.
Yeah. Also, our brains has 85%.
Relax, eh? I remember there's a time nilienda kupima kilo. So I was somewhere. I don't want to let my friends. So you want to tell me out of hiyo kilo ambazo nilikuwa nimepima almost 50% carries water.
Yeah. 70%, and our brain has 85%. Also, the blood carries 83% of water, and the muscles has 75%. Also, the bone marrow, the hard bone marrow, has 20 to 25% of water. And you know, as we do our daily activities, there's some percentage of water that we lose in our bodies. We're told that every day we lose like 2300 milliliters of water. So it means that we have to take water so that we can replace the water that we are losing. While we are sweating, we're doing things, we sweat, you know, we go to the toilet, we urinate. So it means that the water that we lose has to be replaced. And therefore we have to take 1 to 2 liters of water so that you can replace the 2300 milliliters that you lose.
This question that I seem to ask myself. Ukiangalia most cases wakati wa kiangazi na wakati wa mvua. Wakati wa kiangazi, it's very easier to take in. Unaweza kunywa maji wakati wa kiangazi. Lakini wakati wa mvua hapo kidogo kuna changamoto. And now that you have said that into our body, the main compound that seems to keep our body in a good healthy status is what we call water.
Yes.
And so we need to like the state of water tunafaa kujaribu kwa uwezo wetu at least daily to replace that water which goes out. And so what about hiyo wakati kama mvua imenyesha, I can't take in water?
Yeah, you know, mostly most people take water when they feel thirsty, right?
Yes.
But do you know,
including me, not most people.
Yeah, including you.
Because it's somehow challenging. You just go and take water without.
Yeah. So, you know, we are told you don't have to wait to feel thirsty so that you can drink water. Water should be something you have in you, that you're supposed to be drinking water every time, you know, so that at least you can replace the water that you, and you know, the water that we are taking in is used for digestion. That's why when we eat, we need to have more water to aid for digestion. So that's why we are told, even if it's cold, drink water. Not necessarily cold water, but you can drink warm water. In fact, warm water is the best, more than cold.
Don't you fear that warm water to some extent can make our body lose our weight?
No, not really. It is the best for health.
Wow, thank you. Do you think we have another laws now that we have talked about physical exercise and we have talked about water is necessary to our body?
Yes.
And now we take natural food, that is fruits and vegetables, and of course with many other that God has provided to us.
Yeah.
And so what are other laws that our body needs to take care of?
Yeah, another law is sunlight.
Jua.
Yeah, jua. So sunlight is very important, you know, because even when we were young, we were taught that sunlight gives us vitamin D. And what is the purpose of vitamin D? It is to help us in our bone health, for our bone to get stronger. So it means that that's why when we were young, we were shown those pictures of children having kwashiorkor. But when you don't get enough sunlight or take your child out to get enough sunlight, they get rickets. Yeah. So it is very important for bone health.
And you are reminding me again, these things you can't find them in a hospital.
Yeah, they are just natural. God has given us. Yeah.
And so maybe my question kuna place yenye tunajua huwa inakuanga na jua kali. So I can call like hot places like kama I can just call it the other side of North Rift, like kama Turkana, where you find throughout the year jua ni kama ndio the main source of their energy. And so how can you describe watu kama wale pia wanahitaji tena jua ingine?
So we are told that the good sunlight that you're supposed to be having is that one in the morning, not all over the day. Through the day you're supposed to be just basking. Yes.
Iko na limit.
Yeah, it has a limit.
What about the water?
Water? No, water. Just drink water, but not
that much.
Yeah, not that much.
At least kukunywa na kiazi.
2 liters, yeah.
And maybe my other question that we also need to answer into our family. I don't know kama umemaliza hizo rows. How many by the day do we have?
We have 8 laws.
Can you mention so that we can also have that knowledge, so that again I think we will plan to have another session so that we can discuss effect law. Like now we have talked about water in a shallow manner. We will come to discuss more about the function of water into our body, and we have talked about sunlight. I think we will plan so that you can also educate as much what actually sunlight is doing to our body. Do we have another laws? You can just mention them.
Yeah, maybe I can begin. We have nutrition, right? Yeah, we have exercise, as you said.
So the first one is nutrition. What
the
we
food
take
we
in.
take inside our
So
bodies.
matters into our health.
Yeah.
So isikuwe tu ni chakula yoyote mtu.
No, it should have enough vitamin, enough carbohydrates, and all those.
At least wakati unachukua chakula, you try to balance.
Yeah, balance.
Wow. So we have water.
Yeah, we have water, and then we have sunlight. We have temperance.
Temperance?
Yeah.
What is temperance?
Yeah, temperance is ensuring that we have enough food, not more. Yeah, we take our food moderately, not only food, but all
not
those
excess.
foods. Yeah, not in excess.
Not in that like usikose bia na usikule side.
Yes.
So like kuna wale marafiki zetu bia wanapoenda tuseme kama saini msimu wa sele wanapiga chakula ikikuja, so it's that
yeah, no, that's not good. Just take enough food, enough food that your body can take, not in excess.
Najua sometimes now that sounds surgery to us, even to our family. That one which I can call it enough for me can be excess to someone, and also it can be very small to someone. And so what do we have a graph, or at what rate can we clarify that under our body now the food which I've taken, it's enough?
That's why we are told that you have to know yourself. How much can you take in? Yeah. When you feel that this is enough for me, just stick to that, because you know your body records and it knows that this is the limit that I usually take. Yeah, that's why we have to be consistent. This is the limit that I can take, and you just stick to that. Yes.
So you have reminded me something, that even our health determines our habits.
Yes.
So whatever we take in, whatever we do into our daily lives, that describe our character, that gives us the value of our habits, gives us what we need to do into our daily life.
Yes.
So another thing?
Yeah, after temperance we have fresh air, not just air. We should have fresh air.
Challenging?
Yeah, it's very challenging right now.
Naeza sema aje what penye niko ni fresh air. Like for example, hapa penye tuko. Are we experiencing a fresh air or a contaminated air?
Actually, when you live in town, you should know how difficult it will be to have fresh air, because we have a lot of vehicles moving here. We have a lot of industries. So there are a lot of pollutions in town. And Ellen White says that we have to purpose to live in the country. When you live in the country, there is a lot of fresh air from the trees we have around. Just move closer to nature.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you have a problem with moving closer to nature, just plant more trees in your home. At least you'll get fresh air from the environment.
So you find fresh air out of the natural.
Yeah, the nature.
The nature.
Yeah.
So penye kuna miti mingi, we find fresh air.
Yes.
Penye kuna manyumba mingi, contaminated air. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a wonderful topic. Yeah. I want to remind our friends there that this is Truthcast Media. We are always focusing to bring truth to you so that we can also have faith as we are waiting Christ for the second coming. Remember, we are talking about our health. Do you know why you need to keep our body in a good lifestyle? Do you know why your family needs a good health? And so that's why today we have our expert here who is educating us how to keep our lifestyle good. And so come out, just subscribe, just to go to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook, and so you can have such knowledge that will enable us to proceed with our lifestyle standards. And so my question that so far to may discuss around 5 laws of health. So we were saying we have 8 laws of health. Yeah. And now these 8 laws of health, even from penye tulianzia inaonekana, basically their basement or their foundation is about God.
Yes.
When we talk about nutrition, what we take in, we must consider what is the desire of our God. Are we taking what is in God, or we are just taking because our body needs? And so the challenge there is, when we are taking any type of food, or when we are doing anything with our body, we must consider that whatever we are doing must be in good terms with who? With God. And so we have talked about water, where you have told us that even our body, a good percentage carries water. We must be careful to keep our body in a state of water. Yani tukue tukikunywa maji now and then. Tumeongea about sunrise, inatusaidia to strengthen our bones. Tumeongea about temperance, tunafanya ile kitu chochote tunachokifanya na mwili yetu tukue na kiasi. Iwe ni kwa exercise, we must do it in a standard. So tumeongea na ingine tuliongea ni gani?
We have rest.
Yeah. Ile wakati umesikia mwili wako inahitaji kukuwa na kiasi. And that's why I think you have reminded me, even when God created the world, purposely after he created the man, he rested. I want to know that I want to understand that what about this resting? Now when you consider into our lifestyle, unajua kukaa tu chini na unahitaji pesa. Unafaa ufanye, kuna familia, unafaa uende kwa shamba, unafaa uende labda kwenda kununua kitu. And so it sounds difficult to ourselves to find that rest. How can you describe?
Yeah, so in rest you have daily rest and you have periodic rest. So with the daily rest is when you sleep. And it's not, I know we have a lot. Everyone is struggling and they're trying to find life. But now we have from morning to 10 p.m. to do all the activities that you can do during the day. And God has given us 7 to 8 hours to rest. That will help us in terms of our health. Because, when you have enough rest, definitely you will have good, good mental state during the day. And when you do your work, you will be doing it knowing that your mind is ready to do that work. Yeah. So it is good when you have enough rest from 7 to 8 hours. Another thing that you talked about, God rested, and we have the periodic rest. We have people who are working from 8 to 5 and from Monday to
Friday to Saturday.
Others are working to Saturday. Others are working 24/7. Yeah, but God gave us the seventh day to rest. Yeah, and that day is when we take our burden to God. And you know, when you have that taste of resting on the seventh day, then you'll understand why God gave us that rest. So that's why we employ that. If you get enough rest, you will definitely feel much better in terms of even the work you are doing, and even anything that you have to do in your daily living. Yeah, so when you have enough rest, that is sleep, daily rest, and also have that periodic rest, when the rest that God gave us, you will definitely feel lighter in your heart.
So hii wakati umefanya kazi, unapokuwa na wakiazi, namaanisha pia mwili inapata nguvu ya kuweza kufanya zaidi wakati mwingine.
Yes.
So we must be careful when we are wakati tunapofanya anything, tukuwe tunakifanya na kiasi. Tukuwe tu tunafanya ni kama we are not meeting the end. Wow. And so why do you think into our lifestyle today, to our families, to our businesses, it's very difficult for someone to find to rest? Why do you think? What are actually the challenge? When you consider sometimes back, those people, maybe the way they used to do things, even to our grandparents, to some point you can find walikuwa napatanga time ya kupumzika. But into our lifestyle today is actually very, very hard. You can find someone is working, and so even after that work, he or she anapofika kwake pia unapata anafanya tena kazi ingine. Why do you think it's very hard to find, even to our churches today? Why do you think it's very hard for someone to find that rest?
I think that we are living in a different era. Life is very difficult for most people, and so they're like, why rest? I have to look for money. I have to have a good life. So someone says, let's just do this work, even if we have to work for 24 hours, 7 days, for me to get life. But you know, sometimes I think that if someone plans themselves well, and you know, as you said, we have to be temperate, not overwork, overdo, because we are destroying our health. In as much as we have to get this money, we have to ensure that our health is good first.
Yes.
Because, you know, imagine you're straining your body, and then later on, you're told that you have this kind of disease. And when you look back in your history, this is the cause. Me working all through and straining my body. And then you get that the consequence is I have to pay a lot of money for me to get well.
That sounds that the most expensive thing that someone can actually, yani ile kitu yenye mtu inaweza mkalia ngumu sana to afford is when health demands. So it's good when we keep our body health, so that to limit that standard of our health demanding to keep our body in a health standard. So there is this power of a small lifestyle change. You can find like someone anakuwa na ile trend ya kufanya maybe exercise every morning or every evening, or at least he has that. Why do you think that it's very challenging to adapt? Like unaweza sema sahi, today yenyewe nataka kufanya exercise, and so naanza hii wiki, next week unapata you end up losing that strength. What actually the cause?
You know, if you purpose in your heart that this is something I really want to do, I don't think you'll reach a point where you're like, I'm tired, let me just leave it. I think people do it because of impulse. They're like, oh, we are told that exercise is good for our body, so let me just go do it.
But Anna, the main reason why
it was not from their heart. And you know, when they didn't have that reason. And when you have a reason why you're doing something, you'll keep on doing it consistently because you have something you're looking forward to. You feel like this will bring me some changes that will help me in life.
Wow.
So so the only thing that you can do is purpose from your heart. But when you don't, you're just doing it because people are doing it. You know, people see, I see people going to the gym. Let me just go to the gym as well. But it's not from their heart.
Not necessarily about physical exercise, and even the way we we eat. So inamaanisha mtu unaweza sema enyewe fruits are good to my body, but you have not understand clearly what is the why you need to eat fruits. And now there is this challenge of stress, worrying and health. How does it relate each other about someone having stress, someone having that I think worrying, is it that brings depression?
Anxiety.
And how does it relate to each other?
Yeah, that's a good question. A certain research was done and they said that stress links up with a lot of health issues. The first one is hormonal imbalance. That is for ladies mostly. And
what about for men?
Yeah, even men though. Yeah, but mostly for ladies because, you know, for ladies, they have monthly periods. And this one is linked up because, you know, I would love for ladies to just go and do their own thinking and see that month when you were really stressed, there is a way your monthly periods delayed, or even you didn't experience your periods. You missed your periods during the month.
So
yeah, it is being linked to the hormonal imbalances. When you are stressed, there is a way it causes your body to react, and there is a way that your hormones begins acting differently, and finally you find that your periods are delayed, you've missed your periods.
So inamaanisha ya kwamba keeping to our body in a good health status, not only what we take, like our foods, not only exercise, not only sunlight, not only water, we also need to take care or to manage our stress.
Yeah, we have to manage our stress. Also, you know, when we are stressed, everyone knows this, you get ulcers, right? Yeah, everyone knows that. And you know, we don't know why you get ulcers. The reason we get ulcers is because, you know, when you're stressed, there are some people who don't eat because they're really stressed. Others overeat. But let me measure on those who don't eat. You know, when you don't eat, your body does not take enough food in the stomach.
Enough sometimes
energy. And sometimes the stomach releases the acid and it will eat the walls of the stomach. Therefore, someone can get ulcers.
I think we need to talk that topic enough. I don't know. We will plan to have that topic about how stress came inaleta aje ulcers and inakuaje pia inaleta depression. I think that's a topic and tunafaa kuongelea now that you have introduced that even to our body inahitaji tukaweze to take care of our health, stress. And what about worry?
Yeah, worry goes hand in hand with stress. You know, when you worry a lot, you're really stressed, you're thinking a lot. Of course, they're linked up. Yeah, worry leads to stress. And stress leads to health problems.
Wow. And so, tulikuwa tumeshafika resting. I think we are remaining with 2 rows of a health.
It's just one. We have trust in God finally. Yeah, finally we have to trust in God because no matter what we do, we will try to just live these lifestyle things that we are doing. But when you don't trust in God, you will find it difficult to achieve that. But when you trust in God and you're like, whatever I do, God will lead me through, then of course you will be in good health. When you don't have faith that whenever I'm ill, I'll get well, definitely it will be very difficult for you to be well. So we have to really trust in God.
Wow. So faith.
Yeah, faith.
Into our health.
Yeah.
Wow. Another thing maybe about
I think those are the laws of health.
And how can someone want to remember all those, tumeongelea nutrition, water, sunrise, even into our health, and someone want to record daily. So na swali labda ningependa kuuliza pamoja na marafiki zetu. Is it necessary to keep all these 8 laws daily, or something that you can decide today I'm doing this, next week I'm doing this, or is something that necessarily we need to do it daily?
Consistency is what matters. we have to be very consistent. When you choose and decide that I want to do this, to follow these laws, you have to do it daily. Not today you're doing it, tomorrow you're not. You have to be purposeful and do it daily for you to have for it to have effect in our bodies.
So ni kitu tunafaa kufanya daily, si eti ni kitu unasema leo nimepata kajua kidogo, kesho sipati. It's something that we need to do into daily. And now maybe another question. When you consider the way technology is moving, and now you consider the way people are doing things. In fact, the matter of health, to some point, seems very challenging to our society. Not only about old people, but also to young people, either boys or girls. It's very challenging, and even to children. And so, inamaanisha, can it be that even to the young generation, we are lacking the ability to know why we need to take care of our body? And as a church, how can we keep our health? How can we keep this information of health in a standard, so that even young people, watoto wanapokuwa wanajua it's good to keep their body in good health?
Okay, so how we can keep our body health, right? Yeah, so the first thing, of course, you have to involve God and pray about it and be like, God, I want to purpose and be in good health. As you said in 3 John 1 verse 2, that you wish for me to be in health. But another thing that you have to do, not only prayer, but also we have to follow the 8 laws that you've talked about. Yeah, if you are struggling to understand the 8 laws, we have the acronym of the 8 laws, so that you can always remember that I have to ensure that the food I'm taking is okay. I have to exercise. I have to drink enough water. I have to get enough sunlight. I have to be temperate. I have to have fresh air. And of also course rest and also
faith.
I have to have faith in God.
I think today I've learned a lot. That not only just taking food, not only about water, it's good when we keep our body in a good standard. So I think this is also a challenge to our society, a challenge to our family, and also a challenge to our churches. That when we talk anything about our faith, also we must to bring the interest of health into our society. So when you are taking care of your family as a parent, remember to take care health in your family. When you are taking care of your business, also remember to keep your body in a good health status. So I think now that brings to a point even to our churches. Story about being in a good health. We need also to give more knowledge to our members about it's good to keep our body in a good health. I think we will have to talk about these all 8 laws of health one by one with time, if God will allow us. And there's this thing that you have said that the most basic thing we need above everything is that we need to ask God to give us that ability, to give us that direction. How can I keep my body in a good standard? So if I need to know what do I really need to take in as in my body, I need also to ask God. Maybe you can read the Bible, you can pray, so that at least you find that knowledge exactly what God is. And so I don't know whether my friends anakumbuka kila ambacho tulianzia. It's good when you take in what God needs you to, not that what your body demands. And so what I find by day to day is that it is good to take your health good, to take care of your health today, rather than waiting when your health is demanding you. So then that sounds challenging to us. Ndio maana unapata hata unapotembea katika hospitali, in families, unapata wengi wetu ama wengi wako katika ile hali ya maugonjwa. And even to our judges, unapata watu anatembea lakini kwa bagi yake unapata amepepana na nini, na dawa. It's because simply we are just neglecting, we are just seeing that this thing about health, something very small, but by the hand inaleta the outcome which is not good to our life standard.
Yeah, so the basic thing is let's make food our medicine.
Let's make food
medicine
and not
food.
Just only not just only food, but having that food that which is good to our body.
Yes.
And so I think we will plan to talk about more ni food gani hii tunahitajika kukula katika mwili yetu. And so after that tulisema after nutrition tunaongelea about water. Tukitoka water tuende sunrise,
nutrition, and then
exercise
and then
water and sunrise, hivyo mpaka 9. And so to our personal commitment or to our personal level, how can you challenge us even to our friends when you wanatufuatilia about our health?
So what I can say is in as much as we've not gotten the knowledge, and maybe at some point we've been eating the kind of food that is not good for our health, maybe we've been suffering a lot in our health, it's not yet too late. Philippians 4 verse 13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So we can do it, we can manage it.
So it's not a big deal hata kama hatujaweza kufika ile kianzi, but now that because already you have given us that knowledge, it's good we can practice, we come up with a plan how we can keep these 8 laws.
We can manage it. Even though we've taken in a lot of food that is not good for our health, we have detox programs. We can detox and begin afresh.
So do you mean that also we have a program that can rejuvenate or the way that we can bring our body to another way?
To a normal state.
To a normal state. Wow, so rafiki yetu yule ambaye anatusasama asikuwe na wasiwasi, hata kama labda amekuwa akikunywa maji for a while, he can now decide to take in frequently. And so I think we have come to the end of our session today. We have been talking about why do you think it's good to take care of our health, and we were privileged to have our guest, our sister here, ambaye ametufundisha about our health. And now that comes to the end of our session. I don't know whether my sister ako na kitu ya kumalizia alafu tumalize.
Topic of health is very broad, and in case you need anything to talk about health, you can just contact us so that we can be able to help you at any point in time.
Wow.
We are ready to help.
So you can reach Truthcast Media if you want more information about health. We are here just to bring everything good for your health. Bye. See you again. Mungu akubariki, and remember to follow us as Truthcast Media in our YouTube, in our Facebook, in our TikTok. Whenever you find the message of Truthcast Media, remember to share with your friends. May we